So let's start with our plan. The issue here is, may a waiver be invalidated because of unequal bargaining power where a sporting participant has no choice but to sign a waiver to participate. Now I'm going to show you how I did this and the cases that I found, but you may find different cases that answer the same question, that address the same issue, and that's totally fine as long as it really does address the issue. Now, of course, in real life, I'd go to secondary authority first and find a treatise on point, but because we're focusing on case law here, we're just imagining that we're just in the fourth step and we skipped over the other two steps, but in real life, we'd need to do those other two steps. Now, some keywords here that capture the essence would be things like waiver, sport, event, and then waiver has a lot of synonyms in the law, like it's sometimes called a release, it's sometimes called an exculpatory clause, so we could look for those things as well. And then bargaining power is another thing at issue here, bargaining position, unequal bargaining power, or relative bargaining power. Those are kind of synonyms. So again, it's like doing a crossword puzzle. You have to be thinking of synonyms. So here I listed some of these search queries that I did, just trying to hone in my search terms here, and I'll show you. I'll switch over to Westlaw here, and I'll show you. Here's the first. Well, that's not it. This is it. Okay. The first one I did was release or waiver and the words bargaining power together, and that got 59 cases. Now, of course, I chose Florida from the outset. You choose a jurisdiction to filter out a lot of that extra information fog, and then I did a more narrow search. I did release, waiver, exculpatory, and bargaining, and position, and I added sport because I want to find, among those 57 cases, I want to find something that is focused on just a sporting event. So I did sport with the root expander so I could get sporting and sport event, because I'm not sure what a court will call it. And that got 7 hits. And this Banfield one is good, that first one, and there's a couple others as well. But then I played around a little bit more just for fun, and I did this search here. You can see the difference, bargaining and position, and then I did bargaining position. And you could do bargaining power as well, but I did bargaining position within the same clause there, like that all together, and that got me one case, Banfield, which I think is a fantastic case. And then I did the same thing there. So anyway, here's the Banfield case, and it's a case about somebody who was in a triathlon, and during the bicycle portion, they were struck by a vehicle and seriously injured. And so they sued for negligence for failure to establish and maintain a safe bicycle course. And the court addressed this issue right here. The relative bargaining positions of Banfield and appellees, the event company, requires consideration of material issue of fact. And then the court said, basically, this is their rule. A typical situation involving such inequality of bargaining strength is where a public utility or company serving some public function as a precondition to doing business with them requires their customer. So basically, as they say in the next sentence, they want a monopoly, a situation where they want a monopoly over the situation. And then the court's reasoning is right here. They noted that Banfield was not required to enter the triathlon. They didn't have a monopoly over triathlons, and they weren't required to enter. So, it's just recreational, that kind of thing. So that answers the question here. Now, going back to the plan just for a second, I also found this DeBoer case, and DeBoer did a really nice job. Maybe I'm telling you because maybe you found that. It did a nice job of summarizing a lot of the case law in this area, and that in one search I did, DeBoer actually led me to Banfield. So that's one way to find it as well. So anyway, compare what you did to this, and maybe you found a different way, and that's cool. If you did, you could shoot me an email, and I can post it here or put it in the comments to the video. Anyway, okay, I'll see you back in the book.